Okay, today is video diaries day 2, and if you see any little whiskers, or my little Bella is sitting right here on the chair that I have my phone propped up on, because last video I was holding it with my hand and my pinky kept giving out and dropping it slightly. So we welcome. This is me and Bella on day 2. Hello. All right, so it's nighttime and the lighting isn't great, but we're just gonna go with it. Okay, Bella. Hi. Yes. Hello. You're cute. Hopefully that'll get more views because you're adorable. I just got back from a meditation at a center, a Shambhala center. If you know, you know. And they do this queer Dharma night on Sundays, so I've been attending. Now I've gone like 2 weeks in a row. I think that was my 3rd time there. And I met some pretty cool people. There was a big group. And this style of meditation, today I want to talk about styles of meditation that I have personally done. This style is different from what I do as a clairvoyant, which maybe I'll explain that first. So as a clairvoyant, I learned to sit in a chair, have my feet on the ground, flat on the ground, and I used to always be the person that would have their legs crossed, fidgety, feet up, like pointing my toes up against the chair, just never completely flat on the ground. Now I literally can't sit in a chair without my feet completely flat on the ground. I just feel the most centered and grounded and present when I'm sitting that way in a chair. I couldn't even really sit in a chair for a long time, truly. So that's the style that I learned. Eyes closed, palms open to the universe for receiving, because when we're doing clairvoyant meditation where we're viewing, we are receiving information. So this is also like where your hand chakras are on your palms. So as a healer, someone who uses energy to heal themselves, heal others, heal people, places, little burp, people, places, things, you use the energy from your healer's hand, your hand chakras. So there's a lot of different aspects involved, but that is because I'm doing training, not just meditation. But I just feel like personally, as I have been going through this spiritual journey and figuring out what styles of meditation and spiritual practices I personally enjoy with my eclecticness, I like to learn about a lot of different religions, spiritual practices, mindfulness practices, and then kind of take what I like and kind of make my own. I have noticed that a lot of tarot readers or people who give spiritual messages online in general, and other YouTubers, they talk about meditation, but not necessarily how they meditate. And I'm always curious because there's so many different ways. I've now learned about 3 different ways that some work for me better than others. The way that I learned for clairvoyant training is my go-to, but sometimes I don't actually feel like sitting in a chair, so I want to sit on the ground. And I've been led to going to this center, and this style of meditation is where you are sitting cross-legged on the ground on a cushion, and you have your eyes open, and you're looking with a soft gaze, a few feet in front of you, kind of down a little bit, and you have your palms facing down, which is better for seated meditation because your body, it helps keep you sitting upright. It's kind of in yoga, where you are picturing your spine getting lifted up by an invincible thread. So it's very similar to that concept. And then in yoga, I learned how to do some meditation same way, seated. Also yoga nidra, where you like are laying in the shavasana and you have your eyes closed during that, and during the seated as well. I also did some restorative yoga over the summer. I learned that was the first time I've really been, what is the word? Been exposed to that type of yoga, or like knew what the name was. I think I've done a few moves, obviously, that we did, but I didn't know that restorative yoga was actually like a thing that existed. So they had like those flat, square, rectangular cushions on the ground that you could sit on, and then also have a cushion on top, and that's what this meditation center uses. They use cushions or like little benches if you want to kneel. I'm going to try out kneeling because personally I've been working on my hips, and with, if you watched my last video with all the yoga I've been doing and stretches and exercises, opening up my hips, like when I sit cross-legged, I usually have to kind of flatten my legs on the ground and not just sit perfectly cross-legged because my hips are pretty tight. And my feet, actually, my legs fall asleep both while I'm kneeling and while being seated cross-legged. So it's really like, I know it's getting easier and getting better as I'm practicing it. So I don't want to necessarily give up on the cross-legged, but I do want to try the kneeling for an extended period of time. I just haven't, because personally I know how my body gets when I kneel, and I always have had issues with my legs falling asleep. But it also came to me today that it might be a grounding thing, where my legs are just not fully grounded in that position, and I need to find a better way to connect when I'm seated. Because my teacher for clairvoyant training basically, says that being seated with the feet on the ground is the best posture for meditation. And I don't think if I would have started with this style, I would be as far along, or I guess what I'm trying to say is the seated was the best way for me to learn for my neurodivergence and just how antsy I was and fidgety and how much I would stim. That was the best posture for me to sit in to get the benefits. That's what I want to say. The benefits of meditation. Right now, I haven't really received a ton of benefits from this style of meditation because I'm still kind of stuck on my body being uncomfortable. So I do want to try the kneeling. You can use a cushion underneath you, or you can try, they have these like little benches that you can kind of like put under you so that you're not just kneeling on your knees, because if I did that 2 minutes in, and my whole legs would be numb. And we also do a walking meditation. So they do 20 minutes of meditation, probably about 10 minutes of walking. We just all kind of walk in a circle and just keep pace with each other, and it's silent, and your like gaze is kind of down, and you have your hands in front of you. And then we do another 20 minutes. So the greatest part for me has been, we have discussions kind of before a little bit as people are coming in, and then after we discuss like the meditation, the experience, and it's been a good way to connect and have some community with other like-minded people, queer people. So I've been really enjoying that aspect. I've met some cool people that way. So, and I'm really happy because one of my friends from class actually recommended me go there, because I was searching for like a queer spiritual space to be a part of. So this has been really great, and I feel I can, express myself and talk about the things that I really like to talk about in spirituality without, I know that this space, these people are open to receiving these types of thoughts and feelings about meditation and spirituality and being queer and all of this. So it helps me open up, because I know that it will be received and, accepted, and I'm working on just like being accepted around any person. It doesn't have to be someone who's necessarily spiritual, or I could make them come over to the spiritual side. But this is like a good intro to all of that. And I just want to like touch on this because I do think it's kind of missing, like how you can meditate. Like, what are ways you can ground yourself? And there are other ways, like if it's it's winter here in the Midwest, so it's freezing outside, but if you can get your feet in the ground, into some grass, into some dirt, into some sand, by a beach, by water, that's also very grounding. That's like kind of how, before I even started meditating, I would just go to the beach and I just felt connected to the water, connecting with nature. Those types of things are a really good way to start, and just try to be present in the moment that you're in and not focus on the past or the future, just sitting there in that present moment. And then it can just go from there. So learning to lay down and meditate. That's how I started out. I would just look up videos on YouTube here and lay down and even fall asleep, but close my eyes and just let the meditation play, and visualize if I had to visualize during the meditation, or just sit and enjoy and listen. And I would just lay there. And I was healing from like a surgery, so it was like, what else do I really have to do? And then from there I ended up becoming involved in this seated style of meditation by taking classes. So it just naturally evolved to that level. And that really helped me feel grounded. And this style of meditation, there are some visualization aspects that help you really get into that grounded state. Because I feel sometimes when you just sit in silence, like how this place that I have been going recently, the queer place, if you just kind of sit in silence and you don't have some sort of prompt, especially as a neurodivergent person, you don't really know what you're supposed to be thinking or what you're supposed to be doing. And it's all very a personal journey. These things evolve and grow as you evolve and grow in your spirituality and your practices. And stuff changes within you. And so I have to uncross my legs because they're falling asleep. So it's everyone's, own personal journey. But I just found it so much more helpful to have guidance when I started. Like the people who are just showing up for the first time and really haven't meditated before, I'm like, wow, you are like brave. Because a year ago, if I would have walked into a place like where I'm going right now is like a challenge for myself first, I probably would have stopped going. I wouldn't have kept up with it. I would have probably just gone and been like, oh my gosh, that was horrible, I'm never going back. But because I like introduced myself to meditation slowly and started with the laying down, and then just really connected with my teacher and being guided in the way that she guides, I was like, yes, I'm going. I don't know, like it's hard, but it's worth it. I feel good. So I just kept going. And this visualization is basically like just finding your inner space and then allowing that to kind of set your energy so that you can be open to receiving visual images and messages from your higher self, from the universe, answers to your questions, and intuition, like following your intuition. So you're basically visualizing a grounding, connecting your first chakra or tailbone to the center of the earth. And then you are visualizing your crown chakra being neutral, which is gold. Gold energy is neutral. And then you have your aura around you, which is your energetic like space, your spiritual space. And you visualize that being around you. You have to lower your chakras, and then you start running energy, earth energy and cosmic energy into your space, up through your feet chakra and in through your crown chakra. So that seems like a lot. It is kind of a lot of steps. I think when she first starts teaching, she keeps it simple and then slowly, gradually adds everything else on. But this style helps me kind of settle in, and then from there I can, ask my questions or look at what I need to look at on my screen with my body turned down, my chakras being neutral, my body receiving a healing, me turning off like my brain and allowing the images to express what I'm searching for. Yeah. Okay. So then with this style that where we're seated and eyes are open, I need to find a comfortable position for my body, first of all. And once you get into that, you can get into this space with the eyes open. I am going from having my space from within, and I'm keeping my space when I'm with my eyes open, which is really helping me, because when you do healings for people, you have to have your eyes open and you still need to keep your space. So that was a real challenge for me at first, and I'm getting better at it, and this type of meditation is helping me with that, because your eyes are open the whole time. So with this style, I'm not looking at anything, which is different, obviously, but I'm still internally with my eyes open doing these steps for myself, finding my space. And then I just need to focus next on making my body more comfortable so I can truly sit into that meditation with my soft gaze and really get the benefits of it. So it's a process. It's always a process, and learning a new style is always going to take a little bit of time. And I think I'm just going to stop it there, because if you're interested in learning the feet on the ground style and working with me as a life coach, I will have link of my website and my email in the description here, also on my main page. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for this video. I hope you found it helpful in some ways, but this is really important work that more people need to get on board with, because once you find your space, you're able to find your own answers and follow your intuition easier, and has really been a game changer for my life, because I was going down a path that is not meant for me and isn't true to my spirit. And once you really start to meditate and sit with yourself and process things and let things go, you receive more clarity, and you can find your purpose and follow the path that your soul and spirit are really here to follow. And I think that's great, especially if you're neurodivergent and you have issues with overthinking, being overstimulated, being overwhelmed. Stimming isn't an issue, but using stimming because you need to regulate your nervous system, regulating your nervous system, just grounding yourself helps with all of these things. So hit me up if you have any questions or don't know exactly what I'm talking about. Please email me, because I can answer your questions. And I also have a free consultation, and I'm also offering free psychic readings, 15-minute readings over the phone, to just, get you a little intro and kind of see what's going on. It kind of helps you see where you are in present time. All right, so thank you so much for watching, and if you made it all the way to the end of this video, I would like a blue heart today. Thank you.